I believe you can see my screen now. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So I said I was going to briefly explain what components in design are. I won't be touching much of it, but I'm going to explain. Give me a minute, please. Let me tell them to join. All right. So I want to believe we already know how to create layers, how to add two elements together to build something, to build probably an app or whatever that we intend to build. So I'm going to explain components today here, components for us today, so we can see what they actually mean. So components, the way I'm probably going to explain it is that I'll give an example. I'm going to give an example to probably explain what components are. Your phone itself, basically, the phone you use, basically, it also UI. The phone you use, all the interfaces on your phone, the swipe down, swipe up you are using, they are basically UI designed also. But I'm going to use probably an app to explain. Now, let's assume you open. Which app can I open? Alright, so let's assume you opened Facebook. Yeah, let's assume you opened Facebook. Then there's. Do I even need to. Okay, do I need to open Facebook on my phone? Let's assume you open Facebook. Let me see if I can open Facebook on my laptop so we can explain what components probably are. Alright, this is Facebook. Yes, alright. So basically, what components basically are responsive features on your platform, on your website, or on your app, anything you've created, like responsive components. For example, now, see where my mouse is here. My mouse is on something on the left hand side of my PC. You're going to see where my mouse is here. I hope you can see it. Where my mouse is, please. Where my mouse is.
Yes.
All right.
I can see.
Component was used to create this. Once you click on the arrow you are seeing, it's going to give you more options. That's component. Gives you a responsiveness on your application or on your app, whichever thing you've designed. For example, again, if I probably click on this menu icon here on Facebook, it's going to give me different options like this. You can see if I click it, it's going to close. So all these things are components on different type of platforms that we have, but this is for Facebook. Once you click this icon, it's going to pop out this particular thing for you, so you're going to see create whatever that you probably need. Those are components. For probably other website, for Google itself now, once you click on this search bar, it's going to give you options of probably previous searches you've made, component in Figma, EPL, Ethel, Excellence, Video, blah blah blah, like that. It's going to give you options the ability for your platform to be able to open like in this format is also called component. So it can be in different ways. Now, so I'll be making a brief example of how we can probably do it on Figma. So just please go with me. I'm going to be opening a new, like an empty file, so we can do it on that. So please just like pay attention. Alright, so this is a new worksheet, and we are probably going to want to create a what can we create? Yeah, let's say we want to create a login page, but in a different way. Let's use any. Let's use this. So we want to quickly create a responsive login page using what's it called, components. So let's just type this here, sign up. I think in the last class I already showed us how we can create pages by ourselves. We can create different type of layouts. How sign out probably will be, and make this bold. Let me increase the size. Alright, let me change this, sign in instead. Sign in. Let me align it here in the center. So let me play and let's see if that got it. What is this? Alright, and my apologies. So I want to create a sign up page. So the first thing I'm going to probably create here now is a text. Let's say mail and or phone number. I'm going to make it small. Reduce the size. Let's make it like this. Alright, so now what I'm going to do here now is, instead of editing, I'm going to use auto layout. Auto layout is Alt Shift A. Auto layout is for, I want to create an auto layout for what I'm actually doing. Alt Shift A. Are we still with me, please?
Yes, sir.
So we are going to, instead of, let me take it back a bit. Okay. So let me start again from writing the text. Alright, so back to Figma. I'm going to reduce the size, make it light, reduce the size, let's make it this. So for the login page, if you want to create a login page, so instead of drawing a box or anything, you're going to click on Shift A, tap out Shift A to give it auto layout. Auto layout is basically how you can move all your items, all your elements one time, like once, without probably affecting the order. So once you use auto layout, it is going to put your text inside a box for itself or by itself. You get, it's going to put that, so you can, whatever you're editing will be generalized for everything. So if I come here, you can see on this right hand side you're saying auto layout, so you can choose where you want your, like anywhere you want to place it, anything. So basically that's auto layout for you. So I can probably do 14 here, and so it depends on probably anything you're creating. 14 there, and I can probably change the width to 345. Alright, let's change the width like that. So as you can see that the way I'm editing all these things, the email and I don't know what's for me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I wasn't able to hear you before. I was hearing this your main sound.
Alright, sorry. So when you write a text and you don't want to probably draw a rectangle or ellipse or whatever, probably for you want to create a login page for any application or platform you're probably creating, you're going to write the text, resize it as you probably want. Then you're going to click on Shift A to give it a auto layout. Auto layout will help you make sure that your text, it's placed inside a box like a rectangle. But once you are editing it, it's not going to fold, it's not going to shrink. It will all be resizing according to how you probably place it. Even if you shrink your box, it's going to still be the same thing. If you expand it, it's going to be the same thing. Then on this particular side, you can see this box here where my mouse is hovering. This is how you can probably place. You can see align center, align top center, align top right. So you can align whatever you want to align, and it's going to, if I put it in the middle, it takes it to the middle inside the rectangle that's created for me, not outside. Anywhere you want to place it, it's going to put it. You understand? Anyhow you want to do it, it's going to place it for auto layout, and it's not going to affect the rectangle I have used that is already in my text. It's not going to affect that. So I'm going to use this part, auto top left. So after that, then I can probably design or change, add a field to my box. Let's make it black. Okay, I'm going to stroke it instead. Yes, so we can leave it 3.5. Let's leave it for 0.5. So we've created this first page already now. So I can now, I'm going to duplicate this section, this one. I'm going to duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D, as I've always been doing it. Let me zoom out so we can see it. So you tap on the element you want to edit. This is it. Then Ctrl D. Then I've moved it. So I can now probably decide to empty this one, like remove this if I probably want to, or if I choose to. This one now will be so I'm going to give it a absolute positioning, though it does not really matter, but I'm going to, but make sure that when you fixed done what's it called, auto layout, make sure it's on fixed. This is fixed here. You can see horizontal resizing. Make sure it's on fixed so that once you're editing everything, it's not going to affect whatever you're doing. Make sure it's on fixed. So I'm going to come here to the first frame here. I'm going to click on this place on my text, then absolute positioning. Yeah, absolute positioning. It's up here. You can see absolute positioning, but it's basically not compulsory. I did the same way. Then I'm going to maybe resize this to maybe 10. I'm going to move it upwards here. going to resize this, then bring it up here, then I'm probably going to stroke it. I'm going to make it white. Now I'm going to increase it. Let me probably use 5. Okay, I'm doing that so I can hide rather the lines. You can see I can hide the lines here, all the lines on the box.
Sir, please, how did you hide the line? I missed it.
Okay, let me undo it again. Alright, so after resizing, you come to stroke, then you make it white because our background is white, don't forget. So then you can now increase the stroking, 5 or something. Then you can then move it on the line. So once you do that, once you stroked it, it's going to hide the line in between using the stroke that we have probably done. So I'm going to move it downwards here because I want to now make it a component here. Okay, so I want to make it a component here, so I'm just going to pivot like this, and I'm going to move it outside. I'm going to move it outside. So now this is a component here basically. So on top here you can see my mouse is already on component. You can see it on component. So that's what we are going to be using. That's the feature we'll be using. So it's going to give you this pop-up, and you can probably choose let me go back again. You come here, you're going to see create components, create multiple components, create component set. If I click on create components, it's going to create more boxes of what I did for me, and this is a component already for me. I can probably now click add variant, but we're not using that. Add variant will give me the same thing but as a component. I'm going to undo that. So once we have this basically, then you can probably now click on alt to drag. Let me undo it. Click on this particular one, or you can come to asset and bring it on this our sign-in page, but we won't be using that because basically what we are trying to get, or what we are trying to place on our sign-in page, is just one of these boxes. We just want the second one to appear when somebody clicks on the first one. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to create a component again by create component set. It has given us a component. It's telling us now that we have 3 variants. 3 variants is the email, the box. Those are variants. If I come to asset, you can see it has given us just one. So I can probably drag this one, put it on the sign-in page like this, then probably center it. So if I go to our normal page here, you can see it has added it already for us, but I don't know if why there's a glitch. If I click on it, it's probably not doing anything. I don't know why the lines are not showing. Maybe because I'm using iPhone 13 whatever Pro Max or something. Let me change the color of the line for the second one to probably, let me make it red. So once you've created this, you come to asset, then you drag this one here. You understand? You drag it here, then you center it. So they're going to sit on this page. I don't know why the lines are not showing in full, but just understand what I'm trying to say. I'm changing this color so that once I click on this first one, it's going to pop out this one with red color. So before that can appear on our page here, we have to do one particular thing, which is prototype. I hope we've not forgotten prototype. Is how we can link these two together. So you click on prototype, then you tap on this one, then you move this one here. That once we click on this first one, it's going to give us through us to the second page here. So we're going to use smart animate, ease out, let's say 600 milliseconds, and close. And we can then do the same prototype for this second page, so that it's going to take us back to this place. Also, I'm not going to use smart animate for that. I'm just going to use instance, so it just takes us back. So if we go back, let's restart. If I probably click here now, it's going to, you can see it has changed the box. I don't know why the lines are not showing though, but it has changed the lines. It's now giving us an option where the customer will now type in their name, because the first thing the customer will see is this box on our page here, the email or phone number. Let me restart it again. This is what the customer will see, email and phone number. You understand? Email and phone number. So the only way the person can now impute or tap or write their name is by tapping inside. So once they tap inside, then the email and whatever, the email and phone number should disappear, should not be in the box again. So it's now going to transition. The prototype is transitioning the first page to the second page, from a page where you have email or phone number to an empty page where the customer can impute their email. It's not taking them away from the page they are currently on. You understand? It's not taking them away from the page they are currently seeing. It's just going to change the login page, like the login box that were created for email. It's just going to like animate it quickly for us. You get? It's just going to do that quickly for us, so that the customer can type in what they want to create immediately, then probably log in or something. This is for username and what's it called, and phone number. You can then now duplicate this one also, this component. You can duplicate it for page. Can duplicate it. Let's put it under it here. I want to use it for the password. So don't forget, you can just, let's change what is inside here to password. Password. In prototype. Okay, we've done the prototyping already, so we can basically just drag this one. It has not changed. Okay, it has not changed. Okay, this is the second one we created, so I'm going to just change this thing here. Let me change this one here to password. So if I go back to asset, it has changed to password, and I can then drag this one here, then center it, and probably move it up. Alright, so if I go back to our page, should have, yeah, it has added already. So if I probably click on this one, it's going to show me the red line where we can input our password by making those things disappear. Like I said, I don't know why it's not showing the lines in full, and I don't want to increase the border and everything like that. But this is basically how you can use components for this particular thing. Then probably the last thing for us to add is undo, let's say this, then our corner radius 15. This is 10. And I can, I don't know, let's use red sheet. Alright, so in the center, then you can just impute login. Go back to our layer. Click on and let me write. Okay. Enter it. Center it. Make it white if it's white. Extrapolate. Increase the size. Let's go back. It has added. I'll probably change this to red also. Alright, so if I restart it, it's going to be like your login page will basically just be like this. Then you can add so this is basically how a login page will probably be. So if the customer logs in or they're on your platform and they probably see this sign up page, or they're probably a customer of yours already, the transitioning from this design you are probably seeing to a different one that will allow the customer probably impute their phone number or whatever is the use of components. You can't do that. You can't achieve this when I click it and I click it. You can't achieve this without using components. If I remove all the components that we have done and I just create a login page, it will not, once you click it, it won't take me to an empty box or an empty box. It won't take you there. So the empty box that we have, the components we have created, is something the web developer, the people who are going to code the app or website or whatever you created, those are the things they will follow. Because once you give them the file, then they will see that okay, you took this, you took the transition from year to year. So they are going to code according to what you've given them. But if you probably just give them a text and a rectangle, just a design without the prototyping and the component of what the platform should do or what the particular page you created should do, then they won't understand it, they won't know what to do, and it's going to make your job or their job more difficult. So transitioning from one end to another can be only achieved or can be achieved using components. Components is one of the, how I put it, is one of the most difficult part of what is it called, of UI UX, because most times you'll be given a project to create websites, not even applications. Now the use of component on applications, it's easy, it's not that difficult, it's not complex, you understand, compared to a website where you need to have so many pages, you need to have drop downs. All those drop downs you are seeing are created using components, where you see probably somebody, a search bar. You might have probably seen a search bar that when you click on the search bar, it's going to expand, and once you tap it, it's going to close. This is the use of components. But I can't go deep and deep into it, so you can probably further learn on YouTube and everything like that on how you can use components to create different things, like different things, a lot of things. And once you practice using components by even doing rubbish, like you just open your laptop, open Figma, just start using components for whatever you probably want to create, then you get an angle of it. You're going to understand it by practicing and doing something, even if it's nonsense. Just do it, you understand it, you can use it for search bar. And so I think consistently I might probably be dropping more of UI UX tutorials on the YouTube channel sometimes, explaining some of those things. so you can probably follow up from there. But this is how you can create a login page using components, by transitioning from one end to another. Transitioning from one end to another. And don't forget, you just need to like copy everything you've done, then come to this top here. You can see create component, then you create, or you click create component set, create component set, create component set. It's going to help you create it. Then you come to asset, to just drag the one under asset here. Is not a component on its own. It's just like, how will I put it? I don't probably know how to explain. Like two wires, probably putting light into something. Then, okay, let me use an earpiece as an example. An earpiece port. Then your earpiece itself. Once you put your earpiece inside the port and transmit something to the two earphones you probably you're using. So the two earphones cannot enter the, what's it called, the port, but the part of your earpiece that can enter the port is just a component that is not attached to the prototype. So once you put the earpiece inside the port, then you'll be able to listen to the music or whatever the video you're probably watching. But if you detach it, then you can't listen to anything. So without the component under asset, the components you have probably created on your layer, on your page, would not work. Because basically I can't put these two elements on. I can't say I want to put these two elements. Let me tap it. I can't say I want to put this element, everything I want to put on my page. It does not make any sense. If I go back and I reset it, you can see it's already showing on my page, and this is bad work. So what can I do to make sure I don't put both elements on my page but still achieve something that will probably show both of them? That is where this asset area comes in. Let me tap on this again. That is where the asset comes in. So you leave your layer, then you come to your asset, then you drag that thing outside on your layer. So what you have dragged outside on the asset section is what we show on your page or on the customer's end, what they will see. They won't see any other thing again, but that's what they will see. So once they click it, once they reset, they click on input your email, they'll be able to put in their number or their email. And once they click on password section, you're going to remove the password until they'll be able to type inside the box without being affected. I'm sure most of us have seen platforms like that where they'll say type in your password. Where they'll say type in your password, then you will see phone number and email. Once you type it, as you are typing it, those email and phone number will disappear. If you clear what you typed, it's going to reappear. So that is the way it is for a login page. And you can see the colors you'll be using for your designs really matters. Make sure the colors you're using are bright: red, orange, purple, blue, probably sky blue, depending on the brand you probably are working for. If it's even a website you're creating, make sure the colors you're using are something that will be catchy. So before you probably can work for any company, basically you should have done one or two projects in the sense that, not that you've done jobs for companies, no, projects in the sense that you've sat down, you've created a portfolio for yourself of ready apps that anybody can probably use. Because those are the things you will send. You would have prototyped it, so you just send a link to the person that probably wants to hire you. Then they will play it and see how you've transitioned everything, how they are moving, if they are moving swiftly or not, and all like that. And if your design makes sense, even one thing about design is that even if your prototyping does not probably make sense yet, if your design it's beautiful, like if it's beautiful, the colors you've combined and everything is beautiful, they won't ask you any question. As long as you can create pages and pages of designs and they make sense without even linking them yet, then you have an edge to probably get a gig or to probably do something for somebody. Then you now prototype it by connecting pages and pages and pages together. Then you are good. So practice and practice and practice will help you get better. Once you leave Figma and you cannot, once you leave Figma for a month or two or three, you will probably forget it. Yes, you probably forget how to. You can maybe know, you can probably know how to create Facebook, what's it called, iPhone 11 frame and all like that. But the design sense and the design knowledge will not be there again. How to create button, how to create login pages, sign up pages and everything might not be there for you. You might just probably want to say, because I've done this, because I learned it. Learning is just one thing, practicing is another thing. If you don't practice, you forget. So that is basically it. You want to transition from one part to the other, you use components. You put those things together. I'm going to upload the video probably tomorrow, but this is the way you do it. This is what the customer will see: sign in, email or phone number, password, forget password, then login. So if I'm the one that want to use this and I click on email or phone and I tap on it, it's going to empty the box for me so that I can type in my email address. Then once I'm done with that, then I hit my password. Then it's going to allow me to input my password by deleting the password that I've seen before and allowing me to input my password on an empty box. Then you can now click on login. You can click on login. Then it now takes them to the next page you have probably designed. You understand? So I think in the course of everything we'll be doing, I've been able to show you how you can explore the Figma workspace, how you can create a new Figma file, your workspace itself, how you can create frame. Creating frame is easy. Click on frame and you get to choose anyone you want, iPhone 11, if it's website design, if it's desktop, whatever, you click it, then you now start creating your pages. The first thing you need to do in design is creating your pages for every project you are doing before prototyping at all. You don't even need to prototype yet. You just need to create the page so you know they are ready. Then you now start prototyping it. Okay, where will this one go? Where will this one go? Where will this one go? So once your design is ready, you now start prototyping. Then you now start inputting things you want to produce components for. You want to use components for. So that's basically it. Does anybody probably have a question before I say probably a few things about your individual projects that you're probably going to do and submit next week? Does anybody have a question? Briefly, please.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so it is not really a question, more like realization that it's not actually easy. Because these components you've explained, I would have to like just go through it over and over and over and over again and to actually get it out, the understanding of it.
Yeah, that's it. The video will be available.
Okay, sir.
Once you watch it and you practice it, once you're doing it by yourself, not watching and like, for example, now once you're watching a video on how to create something and you're creating it by yourself also the way you're probably watching it, you tend to understand and get it at the later end. Then once you can now do aside the video, then now sit and see if you remember. By doing it by yourself without any help, then you understand it, then you won't forget. But if then you now understand and you don't forget, and you don't probably do it again in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, you will forget. That's one thing about design in general, you get. But the video will be, it's not that difficult like that. Just creating layout. This rectangle shape you are seeing, the spaces where the customer will input. I didn't come to this place, the rectangle side, and I didn't come here and start dragging something like this. No, I just tap on the text I've written, then Shift A to give me a auto layout. Then I stroked the auto layout to give me this black tiny lines that is covering the text I've written. That is how I did it. If you probably don't want to do like this, you can probably then now use the rectangle, drag it like this, then come to fill here, remove it, come to stroke. You can see I still came up with the same thing also. Then I can probably input email and address inside. So it's still basically the same thing, but the easiest way, instead of putting too much of elements in what you are doing, the easiest way is just the way I did it. So if you probably want this type, you just come, then email address, blah blah blah, then you size it very well, then you still achieve the same thing. But once you just need to make sure you are creating them and using them as a component. I can probably click this and click this, create component set. You get, if I add variants, it's going to give me a second page, and if I prototype it, it's going to, if I click on this place, it's going to give me this empty box. If I click on this one again, it's going to take me back to this email address and everything. So it's the responsiveness of your website. That's component for you. How responsive the platforms you are using. So if somebody hits the search bar, how responsive is going to be? It's going to take them, it's going to give them options of the things they've done before, history of search they've made before, or if it's dropped down, like probably a menu feed where you're going to see home, for especially blogs, home, contact us, stuff like that. Components, you understand? So Figma, all you're doing is designing. Your job is just to design and prototype it. Then the web developers are the ones that will sit and now start coding according to the things you've designed and laid out for them. So any other question, please? Does any other person have a question, please? I will, don't know. So let me stop recording.